Okay, Excel is basically just a giant calculator, and you can write formulas in a cell, which is just a mathematical equation or mathematical expression that Excel will evaluate for you. So in Excel, to initialize a formula, we press the equal sign, and then you type in your numbers that you would like Excel to evaluate, the formula you'd like it to evaluate. You use the plus sign to signify addition. So 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. For subtraction, we're going to do 6 and then the dash sign for minus 2. For multiplication, use an asterisk. So 5, shift 8 for the asterisk, 5. For division, that is signified by a forward slash. So 18 forward slash 2 is 9. To take the power of something or to give the power of something, you put your base number and then you put the caret key, which is shift 6 and then 2, 9. In Excel, the order of the formulas are evaluated with the regular PEMDAS order of operations, which just means that anything in parentheses will be evaluated first, and then exponents, then multiplication slash division, then addition slash subtraction. For example, if I wanted 2 times 2 plus 1, the 2 times 2 would evaluate first and then add 1 for 5. But if I wanted to do 2 times open parentheses 2 plus 1, the 2 plus 1 would evaluate first and then multiply by 2 for 6. So this means that writing equations, we have to write them in a single line in Excel. And this means that we have to be very explicit with our parentheses for stuff like division. Okay, so for this example, I'm going to open parentheses 6 plus 8 for the numerator and then division, and then open parentheses again 3 plus 4 for the denominator, enter 4. 2 is our answer. In Excel, you can write formulas using cell references instead of hard coding. Hard coding is just basically what I have been doing, where you write the values and operations directly in the cell that you're writing your formula in. So 2 plus 2. This is an example of hard coding. Using a cell reference is basically just saying, hey, Excel, I want you to look at cell A42 and then add whatever's in cell A43. Okay, and that gives us the same answer. This is a golden rule of Excel that you use cell references instead of hard coding your formulas because you don't have to, if you want to use different inputs for a formula, you can just go to these cells and change it there without having to edit the cell that your formula is in. Okay, very important to remember, golden rule of Excel. Formulas and functions are different from each other in Excel. A formula is just basically a user-defined mathematical expression like this one. So I'm just saying, hey, add 5 plus 2 plus 9. That gives us 16. A function is a predefined formula that serves a specific purpose. A function, so there's a function in Excel called the sum function that will add these numbers together for us. To initialize a function, you just press the equal sign, just like a formula, and start typing in your function that you'd like. In this case, it's the sum function. Excel notices that we want something named sum or with SUM in it. You key down to whichever one you want. When it's highlighted in blue, you press the tab key. Then you have this little tooltip that says, hey, this function can take arguments separated by commas. So I want this number, comma, this number, comma, this number. Enter gives us the answer. Functions can actually take ranges. A range is just a continuous block of cells. So like this, these 3 cells is a range, or it can be a row or a two-dimensional like table looking range. For this example, I'm going to say sum, and then I'm going to click and drag to select this range of cells, close parentheses, press enter, then you get the sum of those 3 numbers. You can actually mix and match. You can put a function within your formula and mix and match you can embed functions into your formula. So for example, I want 5 or whatever's in that cell plus the sum of these two cells. Okay. So we're mixing and matching. Excel will evaluate whatever's in the function first. It's kind of like it's wrapped in parentheses, and then it will evaluate everything else in your formula. So here's kind of a more complicated example. I'm going to solve this quadratic formula really quick using Excel. So equals, I'm going to open parentheses for my numerator. And so it's negative b, b is in this cell, plus the square root. So we're mixing our functions in formula. And then b to the power of 2 minus 4 times a times c. Whoops. And then we're going to close our function and we're going to close our numerator divided by with the slash key, open parentheses for the denominator, 2 times a, and then we're going to press enter, and that's equal to 1. So for this, I need the negative sign as well. I'm just going to copy all this text here, and paste it into the bottom, and then all I'm doing is I'm just changing this plus sign to a dash for subtraction, and we get 0.25.